Recording? Okay, here live at Brave New Books, December 7th, 2011. Matthew Medina.
John Bush.
And we just got out of Kangaroo Community Court, Austin Community Court they call it. And there's a lot to talk about. What do you think, John?
Yeah, we were there because of an arrest, an unlawful arrest Saturday night with Medina and myself after we were videotaping a police officer. We got charges of failure to comply with the lawful order, when in reality we were attempting to comply with the order. It was an unlawful order. It was a public place. We were merely observing public officials. We weren't interfering as the police officer alleged. So today we had our court date, and Medina and I went in there, and it was much of the same that I've experienced from the municipal court, even though this was the downtown Austin Community Court, like a little, even more of a kangaroo branch than the original municipal court. But it was just the same old nonsense. Several provisions of the Texas Code of Criminal Procedures were violated at the very beginning. We weren't properly noticed at least the day before with the criminal complaint.
Well, we never got a citation. We were taken to jail, and we were given a release form. We were never cited. We never saw a magistrate. We were just released from jail. We were just told, here's a form, sign it, show up to community court in 3 days from now. This is when we were getting released from jail. They're like, here, sign this form, you're free to go. We're like, what? We just stayed the night in jail? Just go to the Austin Community Court, and 3 days from now we go there. They're like, oh, we're the magistrate. We're the magistrate, and we called them out. We're like, hey, aren't we supposed to see in 48 hours? You're taking the law too technical. It was a term John kept getting told today. And we ended up talking to the judge for almost 40 minutes after our whole case. I mean, there's a lot to talk about on that, but I mean, as far as our site, we never received a notice to court. We're just given this a proper notice. We were just given a form, a release, and show up at this community court. And we never received the actual complaint against us till today when we showed up.
Yeah, you're supposed to have the complaint at least a day before any proceedings begin, and you also have the right to challenge the complaint, its form or its content. We were never afforded that right because they went ahead and began the proceedings. Also, as Matt said, the law requires magistration within 48 hours. This was not 48 hours, it was 72 hours, and we brought that up to the police, to the judge. We filed a motion to dismiss for improper and insufficient notice, which was ignored, as it is usually. And it was interesting, after all the business was done, we sat and debated the finer points of what a free society would be like.
Yeah, the judge was really interested in John's solutions. He's like, tell me how it would work in your world, tell me. And he was asking questions, and he was into it. As it turns out, he's read a certain book before.
Yeah, he was like, because I guess he picked up on a lot of the philosophy I was spouting as libertarian or voluntariist. He said, so have you ever read Harry Brown's How I Found Freedom in an Unfree World? I told him, yes, I had, and he said, yeah, I read that back in college. You know, for a while there, my dad was worried I'd become an anarchist. So I told him, it's too bad you didn't. You know, we wouldn't be right here in front of you if you hadn't.
But this was after like almost 2 hours or something, like an hour and a half. The whole time we were dealing with this guy, and he was just defending the state. We got it all on audio. Him actually threatening John Bush with armed men with guns. John was like, let me clarify. So you're saying if I choose not to volunteer with this unlawful charge, you're going to send armed men to my house? He's like, yes. And so that was pretty much what was going on with that. As far as him, he was defending. We had motions to dismiss based on this on numerous facts of improper notice, and he was just giving us a runaround. And we were actually told, okay, after a long debate, he was like, okay, we're going to send this to municipal court. Go see the prosecutor. We're like, we're not here to plead. We're not here to see a prosecutor. And it's fine, just sign this form. The form they give us actually says a plead not guilty form. And they were like, you need to sign this so we can send it to municipal. We're like, hey, we're not even here to plead. That was our thing, ladies and gentlemen watching the live stream. We weren't there to plead. We were there to file a motion to dismiss based on improper notification and many other arguments in this document. We're just there to present that, not to see prosecutor, not to plead. We're there for a special appearance. And to, I guess, get us out of there after a long time, they were like, here, just fill out this form. It was sent to municipal. It said, plead not guilty form.
Yeah.
Right, John? I mean,
yeah, we told them that we didn't want to plea. We want the case to be dismissed. They haven't established jurisdiction. There's no indictment. We just barely saw a complaint and an information, which is likely not even in compliance with the state law, the requisites that are required under the Code of Criminal Procedures. Of course, whenever you go, they want to try to force you to plead to get them under their jurisdiction and to move forward with the matter. And we told them that we weren't going to plea, and then again, as Matt said, they slid out in a sneaky manner, like, okay, just sign this, we'll set you up for a hearing on your motions. and we look at it, and it's like, I plead not guilty. You're like, wait a second, what's going on here?
Right at the top, underline.
Yeah, so it's just another day in court. They always seem to railroad, but it's absolutely imperative that we fight these things, and we start to live more free, which is illegal these days. So fear not if you end up in jail. A lot of these petty crimes are Class C misdemeanors anyway, which, if you end up in court, there's no jail time. Eddie Craig has a great class every Sunday from 2 to 5 here at Brave New Bookstore, 1904 Guadalupe Street. And it's a great course. I've learned a lot from that course. He's helping us out on this matter, and there's a whole slew of things people can do to defend themselves in court pro se. And the more people that refuse to enter the pleas and that refuse to take their deals and that refuse to pay the fines originally, the more people that do that, I believe if we fight them in their system, we'll start mucking up and jamming up their system, and hopefully in the future, and it's going to take a lot of work, not just me and Matt and a handful of others. But
we are the examples for you all, and by sharing the videos, you're helping inspire others, and that's how we're going to get this going, and it will.
And if enough of us do it, hopefully in the future they'll stop arresting people for so many victimless crimes, because it will no longer be in their interest. We end up costing them more than they could potentially get out of us in fines by going through their BS. It's just a lot of work. That's why we need a strong community to look out for each other, because it's too much.
Yeah, we're doing our part.
You can't lay down.
And we're getting tons of support on the net. You know?
So thank you.
Yeah.
What's next for you guys?
Peace and freedom.
Oh, we're waiting for the form for our...
We'll have a docket appearance at the municipal court, so stay advised. We'll let you know the date.
We're waiting on that form.
And you can come participate in the next railroading session.
Oh, this weekend, Cop Watch in Austin, Texas.
There's
an event on Facebook. We're going to be... we shared that online on Facebook, and you know, we should definitely have. I want to see if we can have you on Truth Exposed tonight, at least for a segment, real quick or something.
Okay.
So that, and then next week we'll talk about on Truth Exposed whatever happens this week.